Hello, beautiful Leo. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your January 2018, I keep slipping, Soul Tarot reading. I'm really thrilled to be here with you. The readings this month have been very, very deeply profound, and yours is no exception. So I'm starting off by giving you the ability, as Spirit has directed me, to gaze into the image of the first card. That is the spirit message that comes over the top. And I'm going to talk at length, Spirit says, about that. So thank you for your patience. The videos have been going a little long. For those of you that don't know, let me transition over and say hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's wonderful to be here. And I just want to start out with my expression of extreme gratitude to all of you that have accompanied me over this past year while I have progressed deeper into my mission, something that's been coming through to me for many years. And as you know, if you've been following along through 2017, that's the story for all of us. It's time to step in a little deeper. And so in 2017, all of us went through an enormous amount of shift and change through all of the eclipses and the portals that opened and closed and the solstice that came. And now on New Year's Day, we have a supermoon, and there actually are two this month. There's a lot going on. Having created, participating in your own shift and change and growth, and having created this beautiful tapestry of energy by claiming that which is your birthright. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to toggle back. I have a couple of announcements to make. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. Going forward into 2018, I am willing myself, because I always forget, to ask people to like and share and all of that happy stuff, subscribe, so that we can use this tapestry that we've woven to invite others to join us through this particular channel, those who resonate with it, to go forward. I use the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck. And going forward, if you don't know and you're new and you want a reading of any kind or a consultation of any kind, feel free to ask me. There is a lot developing at this end. I am going to be offering new and different types of readings. I'm going to be able to be present to do couples and relationship readings. I will be available for distance healing, which is something that has been developing over many years, and people began to ask me. So I thought, all right, the time is right, the ask is coming, I'm going to add that to my offerings. And the other thing that is transpiring over 2017 as my gifts have grown and deepened, Spirit saying, because I was being very active in utilizing them, I have the capacity to help you be in touch with your loved ones who are on the other side. So if you have anyone that you'd like to be in touch with, or you have a question about somebody's passing, or they've been in touch with you, and you'd like a direct message and conversation with them, let me know. Scroll below the video, click the Show More button that's in the description box. It's in light gray type when I look at it with my computer. And when you click that, it opens up a giant box of information. Everything's there. The other thing that I'm making a personal commitment to is to roll out a website. I'm hoping to do that by the end of January to make things easier for everybody, so that you can just go to the website and with a few very easy clicks, you can see all your choices. Everything will be there, I hope. So it's a new adventure for me, and I know there's a lot going on for you. So let's toggle back and jump into this reading. Leo, as a fire sign, there's a lot of information coming through, and I just finished the Aries reading the other day. Similar types of messaging for all the fire signs. You have come through your journey of 2017, and you have stepped into the elemental power of your astrological set point. So if you don't know much about your astrology, this is the time to go and look, to understand the joining of your sun sign with your rising sign and your moon sign, and ponder very deeply, Spirit says, your particular energy set point. You have a form of elemental power that comes from the sun that is about radiating this type of energy. So here over the top of the message, we see these two individuals, and this has been coming through all of 2017, the yin and yang coming together in order to be able to weave the energy of your set point and allow it to flow and emanate from you. So the process you've been in 2017 has been to bring this forward, and you certainly have arrived. When we see this card right on the top of the reading, that's the theme, the light, if you will, the message from Spirit. So this couple had to overcome some severe obstacles in order to allow them to bond themselves together. And when they did that, they literally rose out of a smoke hole. They were in a banquet hall, and they rose up, Spirit saying, up into the heavens. They turned into swans and flew away. It is about returning to the mystical realm from which you arrive here. And so you have come to a moment where you are now able to step fully into the elemental power of a sun sign, of a fire sign. And that's what Spirit is chattering about a lot. So having made that transition, having this theme and this message and this light about the entire reading, this is the card that indicates your position here on this earth at this time. If you look at the illustrations, they very much complement each other. Having risen into your sacred, mystical soul power, your set point, in order to be able to service your mission here, you begin. That is the beautiful courtship of knowledge. And it is that mystical knowledge of yourself as you have participated in weaving this beautiful fabric that was being spoken about all last year. If you haven't seen, if you're new and you haven't seen the videos from last year, check some of them out. And if you have time and you want to do a little binge watch, go for it, because you're going to understand. Going forward into 2018, there's a very new type of messaging, and it is about bringing you into your moment, Spirit says, so that you can begin to do the work of your elemental set point. And it has everything to do with the radiation of the sun, the fire element. So look into that, go and Google, learn a little bit about, Spirit's talking about the elemental table and what it means and what the sun is made of and what that has to do with human life and our biology. And remember that these are the places from which we came. We are all creatures of the Big Bang. We came here over many, many eons, and our spirit now arises. And in this new place of courtship, with this knowledge of self and elemental power and the meaning and the purpose, you begin to learn the knowledge that you are meant to have in order to step in to your purpose. So here's the human walk cards. How are you going to employ is what's sort of chattering in the background. These cards, many of them have come out in all of the readings. There very definitely is a fabric that has been woven. So if you have some curiosity about that, go and check it out. And here are the cards for your human walk through the month of January. This is also a prophecy about what is to come in 2018. So Spirit's been saying a number of things. And before I forget to say it, as the readings come out in this year and going forward, please understand the cards' relationship to each other as they nest themselves together in the reading. So look at the vertical rows, the horizontal rows, and Spirit's talking about the crisscross of the energy. So here we have this concept of elemental power, of light, of the energy of light, the energy of fire, that which comes from the sun and the stars, and your purpose in your human walk in January. And again, Spirit's telling me it's prophecy for 2018. Look at that. So we talked a lot about, in December, I talked a lot about the solstice and what will happen when the sun arises and we go through that final portal of 2017. And here you arise. This is the sacred goddess Boann. And Spirit's saying, this is you in these moments, a very fertile moment. Strong feminine energy arising here on the earth. And Spirit's talking a lot about arising and emerging and evolving. This beautiful goddess holds abundance in her hands. And if we look closely, she stands upon the earth, emanating, Spirit saying, the elemental power of the sun. Her purpose is to flow her energy out into the realm in which she stands. This is the woman of art. And this woman, this goddess, there's a long story, I don't have time to go into it, but she literally turned into the river and was the mother of the sacred river Boyne. The Boyne Valley is the place in which all the sacred passage tombs, or many, exist. And all the readings that came out when I did my sacred journey to Ireland arose from that place. It is not, for those of you that don't know, I took a sacred journey to deepen my process and step in because I felt the time was coming for myself. And I had intended, I had a very particular plan. It's not what happened at all. And I was drawn into the passage tombs in a way that was very deep and profound. Those readings that came out in October and November and December speak to the final part of our passage as a collective. All of the beings who resonate with the energy that streams through me, through my ability as a channel. So I'm going to toggle back. This year, in January, this is how you stand upon the earth, emanating and flowing that beauty and that energy and that goodness, Spirit says, into the world around you. Very grounded and yet able to emanate like the light of the sun. So keep, Spirit saying, I'm going to transition back. Spirit saying, tuck that in your pocket of sacred knowledge and keep that close to you as you go through the year. This is going to continue to develop. Understand, seek to understand. And that is why the card that indicates you is the beautiful courtship of knowledge. That is the courtship that you will have. It is about Spirit's talking, just chattering endlessly about elemental power and ability and eminence and the flow of the energy from the sun. In this aspect, affecting the world around you just because of who you are and the place and the way in which you stand in your life. And Spirit started talking about that last month. As you stand in this way, you are a sacred warrior. You are the warrior of skill who stands awaiting the sacred impulse to, it's interesting, the word that's coming through is imbue him with a certain understanding. The warrior of skill responds to sacred impulse, and he stands directly below the beautiful courtship of knowledge and next to the woman of art, the flow of this energy. So it is that development that will continue. Certainly in January it begins, but it's a journey that's going to continue all year according to what's coming to me. So he has everything he needs. When this sacred impulse strikes him, there he is. Look at that beautiful male energy. And again, I just want to say, I want to keep reminding people, my readings are not about you and your partner. This is about us as individuals and our journey. And that is what makes us available to our sacred partners if we happen to find, Spirit says, stumble upon one. All right? This always will be about your journey as a spirit here on this earth. So, beautiful blending of male and female energy. I truly have come to really love this card. It really demonstrates the beauty of sacred male power. This gentleman holds his power in his hand. He has sustenance, he has magic, he has purity of intention, and he has the means to go forward and respond to the sacred impulse when it comes to him. And he jumps atop the horse and he rides straight into it. That requires a great deal of skill and a great deal of understanding about purpose and commitment to purpose. That's the message that's coming through. So let me toggle back to the cards. There's a lot of chatter coming through about pay attention to the flow. Flow being the operative word in a sense. And look at that next card. That is the warrior of battle. He stands, Spirit saying, having emerged from the solstice, from the passage tomb. These are all the ways in which you arrive and emerge from that experience. It's astounding to me. It's very deeply profound. As I always say, I could literally talk for hours about these readings, and I do my best to get them out in such a way that they're digestible. That is the beautiful sacred passage tomb at Fort Knox. That's what's coming through to me. Spirit's been chattering a lot about that with me since before and after the solstice. Now it's shifted a little bit. If you haven't seen the video, the videos from October, some of them came from the passage tomb at Fort Knox. And Leo, yours came from the passage tomb at Loughcrew, the seat of Queen Maeve and her elemental feminine power. So let me toggle back again, just so that you can be really clear. Queen Maeve was the person during the time of the many Irish kings who were all crowned at Tara. During Queen Maeve's reign, if you sought to be the king, you had to be Queen Maeve's consort. You had to be married to her. So Spirit's talking about the connection with you, your reading, the things that have come to pass already, and the indication of the passage tombs. So we see this young man standing outside a passage tomb. He is very pure. He is very strong. He is open. He is naked from the will center all the way up, and the sun stands just behind his crown chakra. He's able to provide that which is needed. He is 100% committed to his being, to his task. And he holds the tip of his spear at the sacred spiral of destiny. He's been transformed. He has the beautiful blue kilt. And these are the types of battle that he attends to. It is about bringing forward that which is needed to provide sustenance. So, Spirit's talking to me about the alignment. I'm going to show you a picture. Hang on a second. Let me toggle back. Spirit's telling me I had to load up some pictures as I was getting ready to do the videos this month. All right. That is the sacred stone of destiny, the place of coronation of kings. And Spirit's talking about sun worship. Factually, I don't know anything about that, but I'm just channeling through the messages for you. It is about coming into your moment in this beautiful way. And at Tara, at the top of the hill, this is the place of destiny. The other thing that exists at Tara, and clearly this is about elemental male power. Below that, beneath the hill, if you walk down the hill, what exists below that is the wellspring of the light. And Spirit would like you to understand the metaphor in all of these things. The connection between male and female, the yin and yang, and the light that comes when they are joined. And so, Spirit saying, no doubt, it is your moment. And these things have come to me in order to stream them out to anyone who may be able to understand the moment. So we have beautiful elemental male and female power, as we've been promised, Spirit says. As we walk into this new age, beginning to unfold our destiny and continue our journey in order to bring forward and to utilize the tapestry that has been created, because you have stepped into your place. And as the warrior of battle, okay, sorry, I'm getting a little download. So as a warrior of battle, standing in the light of your own element, with the wellspring of Boann, the sacred goddess of the river, who stands at the, okay, so Spirit's talking about the first step and the second step and the third step. So sorry for the, the hesitation. First step, in a sense, is that which you have the place into which you have arrived, and the wellspring of that moment. And that's why Spirit wanted me to show you the photos this way. Having come to the joining of your energies in the deepest way possible, you respond to the sacred impulse that comes to you. And for every single person, it will be different. I want to really acknowledge that. It does not matter. Spirit's telling me something about the Dalai Lama. Apparently, and again, I always say I don't know this factually, apparently there's a quote that's attributed to the Dalai Lama that has to do with risk and success and love. And it has something to do with great love requires great risk. So maybe one of you can confirm that for me. I don't know. It's just what's coming through. And those are the kind of things that Spirit's talking about. Stepping into the great love that you have in your heart, that you have the capacity for as a Leo, the lion-hearted, committed to providing that which is needed through the elemental power of your sun sign. So as you walk forward, what that provides, the warrior of battle, his commitment is to provide that which is needed. And this is what you're providing. Look at that. That is the bridge card. Oh, you know what? I see I did something wrong with the pictures. Anyways, going forward, that is the beautiful quest of art. And the beautiful woman of art supports it. So again, a reminder, look at the cards and how they're aligned with each other. Your elemental power, having been brought forward, emerging from the solstice and the journey of 2017, flows upon the earth in the ways described in the illustrations and brings you, as the warrior of battle, into a quest. And so Spirit's saying, and that's what all warriors do. So we're talking about spiritual warriorship. And you know, the concept of spiritual warriorship comes out of a lot of traditions. It first came into my knowing through some Buddhist writing. There's a book called Shambhala, The Sacred Way of the Warrior. Spirit wants you to go read that book. It's about elemental power. It's about understanding the basic goodness of yourself and of humanity. Despite anything that you could see, this is about going deep on the inside. All right. So, the quest of art, it is a discovery. Something is revealed, and you go on a journey, and it brings you to this moment. It's about, again, returning to the source. That's about source energy. The salmon always returns to the source. And the source that we're talking about is your element, Spirit says. These are the discoveries you're about to make. How you are connected with the source. How it transforms you, pardon me. And you know, here, so, you know, this little story is about walking along and pulling aside the fronds, opening your vision, Spirit says. And when so doing, this is what you find. And it carries you forward into your journey. It's incredibly beautiful. So let's talk about the spirit walk. And this month, Spirit is talking about the mirror image and how these things are connected. So, setting off, because you have the warrior of skill who responds to a sacred impulse, going forward with spiritual intention to provide that which is needed, and taking up the quest of art. It sends you, of course, and Spirit's talking about all year. All right, you know what? Hang on a second. I got to transition back because Spirit's talking to me about something. This card. There's so much streaming through. Forgive me if I already said it. There's a lot of crisscross energy, Spirit says. But always remember in 2018, you are going to be responding. You're going on all of these sacred, impulsive, mystical journeys, riding deep into the universe in order to find your truth and your set point. And it's necessarily a male type of energy that is accompanied and fed by this beautiful goddess who holds abundance in her hand. It's an astounding array of cards. All right, Spirit's going to let me get back to where I was going. All right, so there we have. Let's look at the Spirit Walk. Do you see the first card? That is the beautiful adventure of skill. That is the impulse that the warrior of skill responds to. There are many adventures coming to you, Leo, in 2018, and I will get to them, but just look at the columns that have already developed. It's, honestly, when the cards came out, I was very weepy. I had to collect myself a little bit. This is what was promised. All of 2017 that I chattered about, all the obstacles and all the things that you had to do and all the tasks that we all came through. So in 2018, a grand adventure awaits you when you respond to the impulse that comes and flows into you. And you make this discovery going on a quest. It brings to you a new adventure. So that is the beautiful adventure of skill that the warrior of skill takes up. So let me toggle back. Give me just a sec. Look at that. There's a long story that goes with this, with all of these cards, there's a lot of mythology. So Spirit uses them as illustration for the message. So this message is about being able to overcome whatever obstacle may find you, Spirit says, and going on this journey. A very skillful adventure. Completely ready. You have everything you need. Sitting in this wheat field. Very excited to go forward. And with clear vision. Like the warrior of battle. Spirit says. Clear vision, clear commitment. Taking up the adventure from the sacred impulse that goes forward from the beautiful goddess, Boann. It's who stands in the light of the sun, the rising sun Spirit's talking about. It's really interesting. Oh, you know what? So the book I was talking about, that's what it talks about, the rising sun. And I can't go into it because it's a long story. I've read that book probably 50 times in the 20 or 25 years since I became aware of it. Someone gave it to me as a gift. It's really beautiful. If you have any interest in those kinds of topics, I suggest you get it. I looked online this morning. I think you can buy it for a couple of bucks online in paperback. Spirit says, it's worth the read. Given this message, there is something you are to understand about your set point, and apparently the words that are in that book will help you. All right, so the very next step is the beautiful king of art. And in a sense, this is why was so dumbfounded by this reading. Very grateful. A lot of beautiful love energy comes streaming into me, into my heart chakra. When the message came out, it literally filled my being. And it took me some time to prepare to be able to say the words that were meant to go with the reading because the energy was so intense, literally filling my being. So the beautiful King of Art has a far-flung spear. He has also his personal power. He can travel back and forth to the mystical realm. And again, Spirit's chattering a little bit about the impact, if you will, of the solstice. So let's see. There he is. Look at that. Given the message that's coming out, he is a visionary. He has an artistic way of existing. And his work in his stance, Spirit says, definitely a warrior, a sacred warrior. Okay, Spirit's still talking about that book. I guess go get it, or get it from the library or something. You know what? Okay, so what I'm getting is that book, you can find it on YouTube. Apparently somebody read the book into a video and put a video on YouTube. So check that. I'm going to check it out after the reading. All right, so there's the beautiful King of Art. Look at the beauty and the intensity of the sun and the messages that come from the mystical realm. He is a seer. His spear covers great distances. He is able to overcome obstacles. All right, let me toggle back so you can see him in concert with the other cards. So his purpose, so to speak, is to utilize the light to clear away darkness. And again, I'm getting all choked up. Leo, I just want to say thank you for everything that you are committed to and that you are doing. No matter your difficulties, no matter your troubles, Spirit says, understand yourself in these moments and you will prevail. So while he is utilizing his light to clear away darkness and obstruction, he is able to draw upon the creative heart within him. And that is your destiny. Drawing on the creative heart within you in order to bring yourself to a place of confidence and calm, in order to withstand whatever troubles might come. And, with all of these cards, there's always a little question, sort of a soul question that comes if you read the book. And for this particular card, the soul question is, what does your generous impulse bid you to do now? Profound, mystically gorgeous. And, I'm sort of swallowing down the tears because I want to get the message out. Spend some time with these photos, Spirit says. I'm going to leave you with the cards at the end of the reading. Spend some time gazing into them and understanding the message as it pertains to you and follow your sacred impulse. All right, so let's toggle back. The last card on the spirit realm. Everything having been said, and this prophecy, the quest of art, the warrior of skill, the adventure of skill, joined together with the King of Art. So we have the woman of art and the King of Art and the quest of art and the warrior of skill. It's really profound. And as he looks forward, clearing away obstruction, bringing his light from the heart center, you can expect to feel, Spirit says, to feel the things that I feel. And as part of the messaging that's been coming through, all of us will begin to step into that part of our being, the place where knowing comes. And it is our heart chakra that these things come into. And we learn a type of fearlessness, the fearlessness of love, the love of compassion and spiritual understanding. And reaching that moment through this incredible adventure and quest of skill, you come to a form of liberation. Leo, I'm verklempt. Look at that. Again, beautiful feminine power. That is the liberator of devotion. Spirit is talking about the next journey, the next portal, the next place. And there is the shaman carrying the head, the place that the ancient peoples believed was the seat of the soul. Look at that. That's how deep you're going. And this devotion that you discover on this beautiful quest of art, the adventure of skill, and the courtship with this knowledge, accompanied by the King of Art, brings you to a place of liberation. And I'm going to toggle back because I want you to see these cards together. So as the King of Art looks forward into the mystical realm, clearing away obstruction and bringing the light, it's about you coming into your intense understanding of your spirit self and your purpose and the ways in which those things will be employed. And when those moments come, you are liberated into the deepest place of your heart chakra devotion. That is why the King of Art comes first. So Spirit wants me to show you them together. So let me toggle over. Look at that. And there's the raven that signifies the mystical realm. You are being liberated, Leo, from your earthly shackles, Spirit says, in order to step very deeply into your mystical self. That is a beautiful Sheila Nagi for those of you who don't know. These figures of elemental, I believe, oops, I'm holding the wrong card, of elemental feminine power and the portal. You know, and I've said this, I think I probably haven't said it on the Leo videos. There's a return that's happening through the yin yang, the rise of the yin yang, and the return of the elemental male and female power. The return of the goddess is the phrase that keeps continuing to come through to me, actually for many years, as I was going through my own journey, preparing to be here and whatever's about to evolve for me going into 2018. I can feel it happening, and so Spirit's talking about the river of abundance. We stand in the river of our abundance, and it liberates us deeply into the place where our devotion rests. Profound, really beautiful. These Sheila Nagi figures were found in most of the places where the Celtic peoples lived and the Druids, Spirit's saying. Okay. Clearly, a male shaman carrying someone across the divide, liberating you into the deepest form of your devotion through this elemental feminine type of spiritual power, right? So, you know, Spirit's showing us pictures of Tara and the place of coronation and the wellspring. And hang on a second, what did I do with it? Here's the card. You should see my desk. All right, that's where we started, remember? Look at that. Okay. So, you know, it's a time to come into understanding the elements of male and female set point and how they are so needed together, and the time that we must learn about that and come into an understanding about the beauty of each set point. And what's interesting to me is that here on the planet, now we're in a time where those things begin to those set points begin to erode by virtue of some very brave individuals who transition and call themselves transgender or gender fluid. It tells me very clearly that we are evolving out of these previously necessary, okay, Spirit's saying nomenclature. Let me toggle back. So there's some message coming through about, you know, be prepared. And certainly, you know, it's about whether we understand or not, bringing love to a situation and having the courage and the understanding in this way to know that we are evolving, we're shifting and changing. And the things that we see here on the earth that we may not understand and we may not feel we can support, and we may, I don't get it, right? I'm not living the experience. I do my best to understand and be loving and compassionate and supportive, but understand that we are all here together. And those of us that seek radical change, that bring, Spirit saying, heresy, what is considered heresy, eventually comes to help us all understand as a collective something deeper still. So there's chatter going on about that. So it's really sort of cycling, and forgive me because it's challenging to get it out today. Spirit is talking about the cycle of change and about what happens to our heart chakras and the implication of male and female energy as we've been assigned through these days to help us understand something that is meant to be understood, that perhaps used to be understood but got lost. And so, as you go through this portal and you come to this place of liberation, there's a lot of, for everybody it's going to be different, right? We each walk our own separate walk, but that's the kind of chatter that's coming through. And Spirit's talking about elemental power, male and female. And it's time to really understand the depth of that and the function of the feminine energy as a sacred portal. And in fact, physically, aren't we? That's our function here. To date, Spirit says, to date. It is time for that understanding to come to the surface, for the blockage about that to be come into the light, that understanding of how we how we generate those types of understandings, given our cultural set point, given our gender assignment, given what religion we walk with and then align with. All those things, I think, are beginning to shift and come to a place of understanding. I'm so eager to see what's going to happen in 2018. That's just so beautiful, isn't it? So love each other, men and women out there. Be respectful. Be very deeply understanding of the sacred power that each of us holds. And if you're a person in transition, I suppose there's more to come about that. I don't know. Spirit's talking about it. About the transition that we are all making. So I suspect that there's more messaging that's going to come in 2018 about that. But it's streaming through to me kind of as an alert about, we're going to talk about this. So let's toggle back and take a look at the outcome. Given the way the story has proceeded, Spirit says, look at the center line of cards, horizontally. The place in which you arise into this courtship that brings forward a sacred quest, and all this talk about the sun. And look at the cards, and very many of these illustrations, we see the rising sun. And Spirit's talking about the book, about the sacred warriorship, about the rising sun. It's really interesting. And you guys are always really smart. You teach me lots of things. So anything that you know about this, put it on the thread. Let's discuss it. I can't wait to hear all the things that you know. I've been a little hermit living in the woods, waiting for my moment to rise. And, in a sense, sequestering myself. Because I want what comes through me and my understanding to come in a very pure way, uninterrupted by certain types of human information. It's a little bit challenging for me. Each of you will have your own journey. Step straight into it. And here's the outcome card. Oh, I forgot to show you. Hang on, let me transition back. All right, I'm going to show you the card, and Spirit wants me to show you something else. Look at that, Leo. That is the protector of lore, sacred information, sacred knowledge. That card has everything to do with coming into a place of beautiful sacred simplicity and understanding of your set point. It's a major arcana card, all right? So it is very powerful in its placement, given everything that has been discussed in this reading. So the protector of lore is about standing on the sacred ground of the ancients. And again, some chattering, some look back, Spirit says, about the solstice journey and what led up to it. And all the words that have come through to me about emergence and evolving. And certainly there's this beautiful person who is standing on the sacred ground of the ancients in the light of the sun. It is about coming into a place of understanding the sacred lore of every being, coming into the realm of simplicity and joy, where you can reveal yourself and your gifts naturally by aligning yourself with your true nature. And the soul question that comes is, who are you in your true self? Wow, Leo, wow. Look at that. That is how you emerge from the solstice. That is your destiny. And it is from this place that you go forward. Spirit says, having been given the messages that are meant for you, your job is to protect the sacredness of what you understand about your elemental power and about the beauty of all of humanity and the way in which you stand. Completely transformed. And yeah, I love that this gentleman is tattooed. He is completely marked in a sense. And even his shoes, transformed. The way in which he stands, the way in which he walks forward of the mystical realm. Beautiful. I mean, what could be a better gift, Spirit says, than that for a Leo? All the abundance you need. The beautiful apple. The seeds of new growth coming forward as you step fully into this place into which you have arrived. So let me transition back so you can see all the cards together. Spirit's talking again about that book. I guess you should go and check it out. There is a relationship between the words, Spirit says, that are in that book. It's not about aligning yourself with Buddhism. None of that. Don't worry about it. You all have traditions that have meaning for you. Stay with them. Go into the deepest places and take your information from there and leave the dogma aside, if at all possible, and understand how the sun shines upon the earth in every corner. There is something about that message that has to do with that which will be revealed to you as you go through these adventures and these quests and the beautiful liberation of your devotion that brings you into this element, emerging into the placement of the protector of lore. Being able to understand the very basic element of your purpose. Having your devotion been liberated through this awakening and this reemergence and this passage through the portal, aligning yourself with the sacred feminine. The center vertical line of cards, all about elemental male power. It's incredibly beautiful, deeply mystical, and in every place, accompanied by the sacred feminine. So if you look at the bottom left, we see the beautiful goddess Boann, who became the river Boann. And look upward toward the top right, we see this elemental fire, sun power, male energy, completely accompanied by the sacred feminine. So if you look at all of the lines that have developed, and all of the questing, and all of the art that is involved in this reading, you will understand yourself. And Spirit says, give yourself as much time to explore those concepts within what you know and the sacred inspiration that comes to you as you move through January and prepare for the journey of 2018. So, thank you everyone for your patience, for being here with me as I've been on this incredible journey of shift and change, just like all of you, coming through all of my challenges. You know, we've had crazy weather here, literally nutty. And I live and die by the sun, as it turns out, because I'm off the grid and I'm a crazy eco purist, right? So I live in this little house, highly insulated. The only power I have is that which comes from the sun. So I understand something about the relevance of this reading, because without that elemental energy shining upon me, my life literally does not go forward. So Leo, understand your placement in this beautiful tapestry that we've woven and the gifts that you bring and why it is so important. We can't make it without you, Leo. As is true for all the signs. And that's what the tapestry is all about. So I'm going to leave you with the cards. Thank you so very much for all the efforts that you are performing deep, deep inside yourself. Whether you tell anybody or not, whether you understand it or not, understand this, Spirit says. And I'll leave you with the cards. I'll look forward to seeing you in February. Thanks, everyone.